16 years.
Okay, so Omar is the founder of the Katrina National Memorial. I'm gonna let you tell it because I'm gonna say it wrong.
Well, we have several names, but it started out at the Katrina National Memorial Park Charitable Foundation. And it's the Katrina National
Wait,
Memorial.
slow down, say it again.
The Katrina National Memorial Park Charitable Foundation and the Katrina National Memorial Museum. So this project was started about 3 o'clock in the morning in my mind, waiting on my mother's remains after Hurricane Katrina. And a few weeks later, I did the sketch of the first memorial. And a few months later, Jody did the designs, which when you visit the website, you'll see those designs. So our idea is to build a national monument like the other national monuments in America. When over 3,000 people die, they build national monuments, with the exception of flight, I think 293 or 193 that went down in Missouri. They built a national monument right on the spot. So our idea is to build a national hurricane monument and an environmental museum that's going to run by hydro, solar, and geothermal energy. And if you visit the website, you get a little more details about that. We have a new website there, and it's a book coming out that's going to detail an untold story of Katrina. The website is knmfno.org, Katrina National Memorial Foundation, New Orleans. And housed in New Orleans and mostly in storage, we got a lot of damage during Hurricane Ida on the 16-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. But we have over $3 million of archives of Katrina videos, paintings, art. Johnny is creating the art piece for us as I speak. He's going to be, so maybe we can hire some of you all to do some museum quality paintings for our museum.
You need to talk, well, you got a few painters on here. Eris, is that your work?
Yes, it is. It's my most recent.
Okay, that's some of Eris's paintings. But is there anything else you want us to know about the museum? Because I think maybe we should go around and just all introduce ourselves.
Well, we're looking for a partner, and we're in the process of trying to put a proposal together for Mackenzie Scott. She's given away $10 billion last year, and she has $24 billion to give away to artists and foundations and mental health organizations. So we need to put this project together. We need major funding. We received approximately $100,000 from the SVLG Shutter grant to help museums stay open during the pandemic. And we hopefully, we're going to be receiving additional funds soon.
Did I hear an invitation for visual artists to submit proposals for artwork?
Yes.
Oh, I'm a visual
Correct.
artist. I'm Alpha Breton. I am the co-founder of Pop-Up Research Station, and I'm also a chief curator for the Phantom Gallery Chicago Network here in Chicago, and I am a visual artist, painter. I have a collection of murals that I've worked on at the Sojourner Truth African Heritage Museum in Sacramento, California. So I am affiliated with one museum and working closely with them on development work. And I also do research and development for art organizations. So
Sounds great.
yeah. So
You have a lot of resources right now on this. I think Rhonda, what you do, Laura's a painter too, but towards what Alpha just did, she introduced herself. Can we each do that?
Rhonda, did you introduce yourself already?
We can hear you.
Okay, the quintessential part of our foundation is the Katrinas List. The Katrinas List is a spreadsheet of approximately 10,000 people who got trapped in Ernest Memorial Convention Center after Katrina. Once I saw the people stranded there, I started collecting names, addresses, phone numbers to start a class action lawsuit. So the Katrinas List turned into a project. We started these interviews to get these stories of the people that was trapped in Katrina, the people with success stories, not just trauma stories, success stories. We have what I call the Katrina babies. So when I speak to a young person, I ask them, I say, how old are you doing Katrina, about 5 or 6? And they say, yes. So that's what I call a Katrina baby. So we have some very good success stories in Katrina babies, Katrina children, and we have some tragedy stories in Katrina that hasn't been told. And we have a death toll that was covered up. We have 1,836 people that was recorded officially as the death toll a couple of weeks after Katrina. For whatever reason, the United States government had the state of Louisiana to stop the death toll at 1,836. So it's approximately 10,000 people dead. So we started this process of interviewing people that's on the Katrina's list, not exclusively on the Katrina's list, people that was in Katrina that's not on the list. We want to interview them also. And this project has evolved to where we're going to hopefully have a documentary about what was not told in Katrina. So we have a book that's we having the last edit done. It's called the Katrina's List, An Untold Story. You can see that on the website, and some small portions of it on the website. So we want to have traveling exhibits. I'm glad you offered that. We want to have a trailer. So we are trying now to hire a new social media person to take care of a lot of that. We lost our social media person. And we're trying to bring some more people on board, and we have money to pay people at this time. You know, for the first 14 years, we operated on donations, and most of the monies that I made in contracting. So is any other direct questions?
Can you qualify that though? You said money made contracting. You don't mean
Money that I made
general
contracting. General contracting, yes. And part of my disability had kept this foundation going up until we got this SVOG money from the SBA. If you all are familiar with the IMLS, Institute of Museums and Library Science, they give out all the major
you're muted,
grants.
Alpha.
Yeah. I saw on your website, Omar, that you had gotten funding from the Institute for Museum and Library Services.
Well, we actually didn't get the money from. We got it through the SBA, but we got a good recommendation from IMLS. But IMLS, let me mention this. IMLS, when the pandemic first hit in 2020, a month or two after, they sent a letter out to all the museums, and they sent the letter out to the former president, the Senate, the Congress, that if the museums don't get financial support, I believe the figure was 29% of the museums will close in America permanently, and 17% will have trouble staying open. So when Biden administration took over, they came up with this program. They got it together real fast. In fact, they don't even have the closing part of the documents together. They worked on this so fast. So what they did was they found out through this program, whatever the museums lost in 2020, 85% of that money that they made in 2019, they gave us that amount of grant money. So take for instance, museums of in New York, the Metropolitan Museum, they lost $1 billion. So they got 85% of the $1 billion that they lost, a grant. And my understanding is they're working on another part of this grant to give us some more money.
Was that from Shuttered Venue?
Yeah, Shuttered Venue grant. Very detailed process to get funded.
Yeah. The Sojourner Truth African Heritage Museum has gotten two of those, and they asked for a lot of stuff. And
Oh,
now they're
yeah.
asking for the monies, I think, to be spent in advance.
Oh, it has to be, well, when the first
Oh,
part of the
that's
money, when we got the first part of the money, they wanted us to spend it by the end of December. So when they gave us another $39,000, they gave us the end of June to spend it, but they have to give us the format to send them the reports. They want detailed reports. So we have until June the 31st to spend the remaining of the money.
so. What are you doing? You're getting making sure people are contracted in, so it shows that the money is spent, or
Once we applied for the grant, they wanted a budget. So we have a set budget. We have so much for rent, so much for art, so much for overhead, so much for grant writer, so much for the accountant, so much for salaries. So we can't go too far out of that budget because we got to submit the final report, like I say, in June the 31st, whenever they give us the rest of the paperwork. They haven't even, my administrator was on a Zoom call with SBA for an hour and a half 2 months ago. They don't have the whole report ready for us to be sent out.
right. Again, like
So we want to, some of this money we want to use to get a few more art pieces rendered for the museum, some museum quality of Katrina, based on some of our photographs. So you can see some of those on our website and
so
some of our
basically,
Facebook. We have a lot of pictures on Facebook.
okay. So basically, what I asked was that what you're doing is, I know what we did, and I say we because I'm a consultant for the museum, is that we made sure that we had all of our contractual, um, artists that were working on projects. We had them already contracted for the amount set in their contract, so that it shows that expense. And we also had just like for our rent, we made sure it was paid up 6 months. So therefore, we had the receipt or we had the contract that said that it was already paid. I mean, because we found that is what happened with us, that you had to have that money spent by December or lose it. But so we made sure that we had all our contracts in place and signed off on where the money was allocated to. So, for each, I'm just basically, my mind is wrapping back around where the artist, are we going to submit what do we need to submit to submit art to you? Look on your website to choose images that we may want to create artwork about. Are you doing a call for, artist qualifications? How are you setting it up?
Well, we're gonna in the next week or two, we're gonna come up with a budget for the remaining of art we want done for this year, and then we will let you all know. But
Okay.
it's going to be based off some of the images that's on the website. We have over 2,500 Katrina photographs that I took during and after Katrina, and they all have stories. Every photograph that I've taken has stories. Some of them more important than others. And some of those photographs are going to be listed in the Katrinas List, the book, which is on the website for pre-sale. It's 8.5 by 11 book, hard copy and a softback, audio, and we're trying to find a couple of translators. We want the book to be in French and Spanish
Oh,
as soon as possible.
I've got a translator for you that's here in Chicago.
Because we had, I don't know if you know, but if it wasn't for the students in several of the universities in the Latino, the Mexican and Honduras community, New Orleans wouldn't recover. In fact, the universities are still sending students there working on various projects. In fact, the Katrinas List, the typewritten database, it was compiled by 7 universities. Columbia University here in Chicago was one of them. Howard University, New York University, San Diego University, Morehouse, Spelman, Howard. It's about 7 universities. All those students, they came to New Orleans to work on different projects, but some kind of way they found us, and Kanika Taylor got those students together and they put all those names in the database.
Cool.
So now we have to find out where a lot of those people are. They're all not living. And then some of those Katrina babies, they have babies. I meet them all the time.
That
It's-
might
it's so-
be. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying that might be something that social media can help you with. If you do a social media campaign, asking people to create a participatory campaign, something that can go viral, that can be very helpful. There's someone I'd like to introduce you to that I'll send you an email after this call that does, it's a group of graphic design students that formed a foundation, and they offer free support, minor stuff, but it could be very helpful, and it could lead to finding some great people to work with out of the state Fullerton.
That sounds great.
Omar,
Yes.
I came in a little late. I don't know. All I know is Omar, and I think just piggybacking maybe on what Alpha was asking, what specifically if one or all of us are interested in working with the museum. You gave a name of Gia Hamilton. Should we refer our interest based on your name? What is the procedure for us to connect with you and your
Well,
program?
our foundation is separate from the African American Art Museum in New Orleans. It's okay to mention my name in a letter to her that I recommended you, because I recommend many people to the Black museums in New Orleans. There's a lot of Black folks, they come to New Orleans, the first thing they want to go to is Bourbon Street. They never, when I asked them, I said, you visited any museums? Oh, no, I haven't visited any museums. So my thing is to get the artists, exposed, all over, no matter where they live at.
Right. Your name is Omar. What's
Casimire.
your last?
Casimire, Casimire.
Mhm.
All my contact is on the website. And if you Google any part of my name, the website's going to come up.
All right.
I'm all over the internet.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And when they tell you, when I first had this vision of this project, I saw it taking off like the flight wings of a bird. So you know where the flight wings of the bird in America is?
Yes.
Who said yes?
Alpha did.
I did on mute.
But you know where the flight wings of the bird
I'll
is
let
in
Mara
America? Where's the flight wings of the bird in America?
go ahead on ours.
You're not talking about the White House.
No. The flight wings of the bird is the East Coast and the West Coast. And you know where the heart is?
The Midwest.
Chicago.
No, Chicago particular. So they have a saying in the financial world. If Chicago sneezes, New York gonna catch a cold. Do you know why they say that? Because on LaSalle Street, all the food in the world goes through the Board of Trade. So if something happened to the food, the financial world is gonna collapse. So we saw a little bit of that in 2020, right? What happened to the food?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I knew some of the biggest help from this project. Well, it started off like that. These university students came from Chicago, New York, Colorado, not Colorado, Georgia, Virginia, California, Oregon. They put this Katrinas List together in a database. So
Awesome.
this New York,
Okay.
New York, In Chicago, in California, is what make America runs.
Well,
Mhm.
Omar, we're like 10, 11 minutes over for starting the discussion, but I just want to say, I think you've inspired a lot in many people. We want to have you come back if you would.
Oh, I would love to come back.
This is an open forum for anyone to join us when you come. You know, at that first half hour, we can have conversation, networking. If you want to actually go, like she showed on the cafe menu, if you want to go into a private room to continue
Mhm.
conversations with certain people, you can do that. But
Okay.
I think everyone is very intrigued and interested to engage. And it sounds like you are too. So we all want to thank you for joining us. Please stay on for the discussion as
Thank
long
you.
as you can.
Okay.
I'm sure your insight as a general contractor and just a creative mind, a visionary will enjoy it and perhaps have some good input. And I see we have two more people who just joined us, Derek Clemens and Curtis Kojo Morrow. You want to just introduce yourselves real quick and we're going to get started.
Oh, okay. I guess, yeah, you're still muted, but I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead first. Derek Clemens, artist, southeast side of Chicago. Good to be with the group. I do some public work and also have done teaching and in the Sky Art program and working on getting a studio space on the southeast side, as well as having a space at Manor Contemporary. And glad to be with you.
Listen, Derek, don't you have a big public art project that's coming down?
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
you hear me?
Kojo.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Kojo.
okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyway, my name is Curtis Kojo Morrow, and I'm an artist, author, jack of all trade type, and a senior. I better throw that in. And that's what I do. I'm an artist and
Mhm.
a writer. I just upload my information, so maybe you can make it out, when you get time.
His info is in the chat, y'all. And if you put his name in Amazon, you'll find his books and his calendar and something else. There's so many things,
Well,
things you
that's a
can
lot.
buy and yeah. Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Kojo. That's what I know him as. And Derek and everyone else. So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to actually not turn it over, but I'm going to invite Laura to join. Laura and I are the co-founders of Artist Design the Future. I'm the project manager, and we have Laura has prepared a few slides to guide our discussion. And please feel free. This is I'll let Laura take over and share with you how this will go.